The current air transport sector is, however, still facing regulatory barriers, constraints, uncertainty, and economic fragmentation. These factors impede efficiency, generate friction, and hinder air connectivity improvements. For example, the overly complex bilateral and regional air transport frameworks have added significantly to the cost of doing business, while at the same time limiting choice and competition. What should be a serious concern for all of us is that this fragmentation still threatens to increase if countries move away from global practices and norms. This poses a fundamental challenge for the industry. This is why ICAO's long-term vision for international air transport liberalization affirms that states actively pursue the continuous liberalization of international air transport to the benefit of all stakeholders and to the global economy at large. I therefore encourage you to realize new air services agreements in the coming days that will allow the industry to do business in a more favorable operating environment and expand into new markets in the spirit of this long-term vision. They should also serve to provide the traveling public with greater connectivity through an expanded selection of carriers and destinations, more competitive fares, and seamless travel. It has been encouraging to witness the launching of the single African air transport market in January this year. The SATM is an initiative of the African Union, and together with the establishment of the Continental Free Trade Area, we accelerate intra-African trade flows, generate air cargo demand, and spur e-commerce development. The freer movement of people and goods these developments realize will be further stimulated by the proposed introduction of an African passport and by the relaxation of visa requirements for all African citizens in all African countries. This continent presently accounts for about 4% of global air transport services. But considering the size and population of the continent, in addition to the operationalization of the SATM and the full implementation of the Yamoussoukro decision, I will suggest there is much more untapped potential here yet to be fulfilled. Full implementation of these programs will increase flight connectivity and traffic growth and ultimately help Africa to surpass the current 7 million jobs and more than $72 billion in African-wide GDP the industry currently generates. ICAO long-term traffic forecasts presently indicate that passenger and freight traffic for the African region are expected to grow by around 4.3% and 3.8% annually up to 2035. But achieving this growth will require an increase in intra-African tourism, trade and investment, and a reduction of today's excessive freight tariffs. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, adopting a rotational approach in the hosting of these ICAO-ICANN events also reflects our organization's efforts to ensure that no country and, moreover, no region is left behind. Traditionally, government negotiators had to travel to each individual bilateral partner state to conduct air services negotiations, such as those which will be concluded here. The cost and time spent for such negotiations has discouraged many states from amending their well-established regulatory frameworks, meaning that many existing bilateral agreements still include 70-year-old provisions. It is therefore our intention to facilitate this change by helping you to conduct multiple negotiations with your counterparts in the same cost-effective location, and the significant level of participation at this year's ICANN demonstrates that this is working. Ladies and